Hi, good evening all. Welcome to Blue and Gold Talk. Guys, I want to do a video talking about the 4-game winning streak and a few other things in this video. Hold on, I've got my little friend here wants to say hi. She's going to drive me crazy, guys. So Rosie's come to say hi. And that's it. So you go sit down, you be good, let me do my video, okay? Well, 4 in a row. It took how many years has it been since we won 4 in a row? I should have checked that before the video, but it's our 5th winning streak of the year. We've had 4 3-game winning streaks. Now we have a 4-game winning streak, and we're in last place. So it tells you how inconsistent the boys have been all year. If anything lately, good is happening, and I've got a lot of complaints tonight, but anything good is happening. Home is getting better. Sabres are over 500 at home now. That's about the only thing I'm looking at right now. 22-26. A few of those wins, we'd be a 500 team right now. We'd be right in the thick of things. As it stands, 10 points out still. And a game in hand. We have a game in hand in Columbus for that final spot now. 10 points behind. We're not out of it. It's not over yet, but it's like, you know, I'm happy with Reimer. Now, I don't even want to get into like talking much about the wing, guys, because for me, the gray cloud is still there above us when it comes to the soft mentality of this team. And you guys know I've been preaching it for how many years on this channel? How many years have I been bitching and whining and complaining? And I've even had it out with some of you guys about this, that defended the Sabres when they were scoring a lot of goals a few years ago. But what did I say back then? This soft thing will come back to get them. I'm not fooled by this winning streak with what I seen happen to Thompson. I'm not fooled by it. I'm just not. I didn't even do a video that night. I was disgusted even though they won. I didn't care. Flashbacks, guys, of Ryan Miller and Lucic. Flashbacks, okay? This is our guy on our team that can put us on his back when he's rolling. And nobody comes to his defense. We've got to do something because it's only a matter of time. I'm telling you, and for you people that love Luukkonen, there's the Luukkonen fans out there. I've got my favorites on the team. You got your favorites. I'm going to tell you, somebody's going to run our goalie and run him out for the season. Run him right out for the season. Crash him right into the net. Nobody will come to his defense. Maybe 1 or 2 guys. It's enough. It's really enough. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I feel like it makes no difference. What difference does it make if they make the playoffs if they're going to be a wuss team, guys? What difference does it really make to any of us? So we can be ashamed of them, what they did in the playoffs? Imagine if that was a playoff game and they did that. I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. I feel like this should be addressed before the wins and losses. This is the real problem with our hockey team, guys, is that there's no guts. There's no guts when it comes right down to it. There's no guts. And I'm saying that after their best winning streak in years. But there's no guts. And I want to see, I don't know. I want them to start gooning it. Okay, look, I'm frustrated like a lot of Sabres fans. I'd be more than happy to have a rough and tough team. I don't care about being the best team in the league. I seen us with the best team in the league in 06, and we still lost because we weren't physical enough with the 06 squad. If there was anything wrong with that team, we weren't physical enough. That's why, as people ask me, the greatest hockey team Buffalo's ever had, the 75 Sabres, without a doubt, because they could be physical. Ask the Flyers. The most physical team in NHL history was that Broad Street Bully team. And the Sabres stood up against a great physical hockey team back then, who had the greatest goalie in the world at the time. Right now, I don't know. I feel like it's fake, the winning streak after what happened because of that game. That's been lingering in my head, guys. I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Like, it's bad enough that we're soft mentally, that we're going to be wusses on the ice. And I heard it on what do you call it? On Locked on Sabres. okay? Joe talked about it in his video. Talked about where was the guy that should have came into the picture. And it's true, guys. One of the rare videos where I seen eye to eye with another Sabres guy talking about the team, what's driving him nuts. Exactly what's driving me nuts is where was the reaction? And that's kind of what this video is turning into. I'm sorry, guys, but it's on my mind. Where was the reaction? There has to be a, yeah, you know, back in Rob Ray's day, if that would have happened, they would have been, those New Jersey Devils would have been terrified to come on the ice because Rob Ray would be out there looking for anybody. And there's no, this is how our team, the soft thing caught up to the Sabres the day Miller got run over by Lucic. It finally caught up to us, the soft thing, because I was complaining then the Sabres were too damn soft, and that team was tougher than this team, way tougher. But I'm just saying they weren't tough enough back then. There's a lot of issues on this team, guys. Till they've resolved that, I don't know. It's hard to watch. You know, I know they're winning right now, and I should be enjoying this more. I am. I'm happy they're winning. You know, but when I see arguably our best forward get his noodle racked and nobody comes to his defense immediately. Forget even later. Immediately. Guys, that was rule of thumb when we played hockey. Your captain, your best player, your goalie, anybody that's important in your team, key component to your hockey club, gets deliberately hit, you go after that person immediately. And that was in my league that I played in. I'm talking AA hockey, big deal. It's not even close to pro hockey. You go after the play. You go after them. I knew people had my back when I played. It's just the way hockey was back then. Nowadays, I don't get this. I don't get the softness. It's almost like they're angry at their own fans or something, how it feels. But, hey, you know, I'm going to have to check Reimer's goals above expected because, you know, I'm happy with him, believe it or not. And I'm happy that, you know, it's to the point this year that we want to get rid, and Cousins has got to stop being a ghost, you know. He seems to have accepted he's going to get traded because he's not getting any points. Don't get what happened to Cousins, guys. If there was anybody we could have counted on to go after, maybe it's when he got his head knocked off last year. Since then, maybe in here, for him, it's difficult to play hockey. That happens to some players, eh? They get their head taken off in a fight, and all of a sudden, they're never the same player again. I think Cousins can come back to what he once was. But where's that rough and tough guy that we had? And I know Cousins isn't like Rob Ray or nothing, but he had that instinct to immediately look out for his teammates. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. There's a lot of things going on with this team that I'm worried about, guys, long term. Forget this season. This season, the Sabres might get on a run and trick us and get our hopes up, and then all of a sudden they get soft again, and we say, oh yeah, I forgot. You know, I forgot. They're the softest team in hockey. How many teams would have allowed that to happen? You think the Montreal Canadiens, okay, and they're smaller than us, would have allowed that to happen to Suzuki? Do you really think so? No. Even their smaller guys would have went after the Devils. They would have went after them. So this is something I think, guys, that we have to address. And I hate to say it, but Adams is a wuss when it comes to implementing tough into the lineup. He's the worst GM in hockey with that. He's a good GM slapping together talent, drafting, getting value out of trades. He's very good at this. But he's been a wuss. I've been saying it for years now. When him and Granato were together, it's like it's the family secret. Don't let anybody know we're soft. You know, shh, don't be quiet about it. And that's how it's felt for years. I think we're exposed. I mean, guys, I'll tell you something, okay? And I know I'm rambling about this, and I'm sorry, but it's on my mind. If there's anything, the way the league will work, okay? And I'm going by the leagues I played in. Word gets around the league, especially in today's NHL with social media and people like me exposing it, that the Sabres are soft. And it's easy to get into their heads. They're easy to bully. If you're easy to bully in the game of hockey, you're already a loser. Doesn't matter if you're a winning team. You are never, ever, ever going to win the Stanley Cup if you're a soft team. Soft teams don't win the Stanley Cup, guys. And people say, well, Chicago wasn't a high-hitting team, right? When they won their cups, they weren't a very high-hitting team. No. But come playoff time, go check their hits. And Duncan Keith was a beast out there, remember? They had their intimidation factor on the ice. They had their guys like Kane and everything that could make it happen. But they also had the beast. Like Duncan Keith was a maniac back then. One of the dirtiest hockey players in the whole world at the time. And this is what we need to get. The Sabres need to get more dirty. They need to get more physical. They need to get more mean. And I don't think our general manager is in reality because he takes me as a soft guy. He takes me as a guy that I could have an argument with, and there's no way he would beat me in an argument if I had an argument with Kevin Adams. There's no way. I've been a collector for 25 years, guys. Like, there's no way. I won't lose the argument. I'll make sure that if I'm on the phone with a guy like Kevin Adams, he hangs up on me every time before I lose any argument. No. I'll make sure I win the conversation that way. And I think he's a good GM. I know a lot of people give him a bad rap for being, they think he's a terrible GM. I don't think he's a terrible GM. I just don't. I think he's a good general manager. But he's stupid also. And he doesn't live in reality. And I think that has a lot to do with the way Pegula has orchestrated the environment of the Buffalo Sabres, guys. That it's okay to be soft. It's okay not to be a tough team in this league. And that is the dumbest thing that any team could do. Because you look at our division, okay? Toronto got tougher. They even have a coach now who makes sure they're hitting night after night. They even with I forget he's Jersey's coach now. I forget his name. My goodness. Sheldon Keefe. Even under him, they started hitting more, you might recall. Remember Toronto years ago? I'd talk about it in my videos saying they're not going anywhere in the playoffs. They're the third worst hitting team in hockey. Forget it. It's not happening. Colorado, I suspected, could break through if they ever turned the Jets on the physical play in the playoffs, and they did. I think Toronto could be that team now, where all of a sudden they go into the playoffs and they're just more mean and more physical. That will be a dangerous Toronto team if that happens this year, guys. We'll see. But you look at them, Boston, Florida, who are just a great hitting hockey team, but they're the whole package. They built this team right before our eyes, guys, and they're the champions, and I think they could repeat this year, actually. Tampa Bay. I mean, these are all teams that can play physical. Ottawa is another team. They've been a top hitting team for years. They have been. If you go look at the last 5-6 years, you'll see Ottawa's right up there in the top 5 every year almost. Detroit's been wusses like us. If there's another team that's been wusses like us, it's Detroit. Okay? But they've also made sure they have veterans on their team, guys. We haven't done that either. We've been guilty of both. But I'm more worried, guys, about this soft thing, and I don't see any end to it. And for a Buffalo Sabres fan like me, I don't know how you guys feel, but for a guy like me, that worries me to no end. I just feel like it doesn't make any difference what we do, because we'll run into a team like Boston in the first round. They'll take us out physically right away, even if we're more talented. If you look at Buffalo's roster, guys, Please show me where the Bruins are more talented. Please show me. Because you can't. Maybe Swayman. They got the edge there with goaltending, without a doubt. And I know Swayman's having a shitty year, but they got the edge there. Give me Swayman over any of our goalies if we play in the playoffs any day. But after that, you got a little guy like Marchand who's tougher he's more tougher and has way more heart than any of our hockey players. People say, well, I don't like Marchand. Good. That's what we want. We want a bunch of Buffalo Sabres that the fans in the NHL can't stand. And we don't have those guys. We have just elite, good young hockey players who are gifted. Probably the most talented team in the division next to Florida is Buffalo. And look where we are. And that's because we're weak in here and in here. Until that's fixed, guys, no 4-game winning streaks convincing me otherwise. We're not doing nothing. And until I see them make the necessary changes in that lineup, I don't know what to say. You know, it's how I feel. I feel like I'm not going to get fooled by this winning streak after what I just seen happen in the middle of the winning streak, which somebody can take liberties on our best player, literally our best forward, our most dangerous forward, and nobody has his back. Worries the hell out of me. That's my rant. Guys, God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good night.